just get one time in the booth before you go against the longest standing team in Heroes Esports.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't argue with you there.
Yeah.
Insta-ban Greymane. Look at Crazy Moving's face. He's like, all right.
Look at him laugh. He's like, actually, he's like, yeah, okay.
I mean, their comps have kind of revolved around it. He's been prioritizing it high up in the draft.
Crazy Mane, Crazy Mane. He should change his name to Crazy Mane, but Crazy Moving is just like one of the best range damage dealers. Like anyone you give him, he will never die and he will deal ridiculous damage. Like he's quietly, but it's getting like louder. Like the strongest player, man. Like last season as well, I felt like some of his teammates were actually holding him back. Like he is an all-star for sure. Like this guy's on the level of Sake.
Oh,
Argue with me.
Hell yeah.
Tell me he's not.
He had a higher KDA on Jaina than Sake did.
Yeah.
Boom. That's like all I need to say. Now this puts TNL in an awkward position where they ban Falstad. This means Tempest can grab Illidan, and they will. First pick.
This is cool.
TNL really valuing that global presence of Falstad. They're going to pick up Kael'thas here, and they're keeping Tassadar. So
okay. This is interesting.
The Tassadar pick, I think, is to deny them from taking Tassadar to shield Illidan.
It is, and that is not necessarily like a good way to play because Tassadar sucks against Illidan so bad, and it gives up Muradin to the other team. And look, if you're not going to get Tassadar, you can get Abathur, who's amazing on this map. I think this Tassadar pick was maybe a mistake, but I understand the fear of playing against such a thing.
Yeah, like, looking at the draft here for Tempest, they have one of the counters to Illidan is taken away from TNL. The Uther ban here is obvious. Like, anyone who's even played like Hero League knows that that's like the one that you're going to do here.
Yeah.
The Sylvanas ban is pretty smart for Tempest because that's one way they can basically get out-rotated by TNL and out-pushed because Illidan's not going to give you wave clear. They don't actually have any wave clear themselves just yet. You know, I wonder if we're going to see Brightwing fit into this draft at all here.
I could see him popping up on Tempest side, perhaps. I love the Sonya pickup. I think that actually might have been a better ban for Tempest than anything else. Sonya does fantastic against Illidan. She's fantastic at the map itself, and SC is one scary nerd on that hero.
ETC coming out as well. Starts to look more like we are going to see, I think we're going to see a solo support Tassadar here. I wonder with whom, though. Fifth pick really flexible for TNL. They can really decide what to do based on what Tempest brings in here.
You're quite right about that.
Now, what support do we see for Illidan? I feel like we're just going to see Rhaegar. Yeah. I think that, I mean, there's a lot of like theory crafting we can do here, and we can try to reinvent the wheel, but
you can go Brightwing.
Yeah.
It gives you like even more global presence than the Abathur.
Tyrande first, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be solo Tyrande.
I think they need a ranged DPS. So
yeah, you're missing a lot of damage if you don't grab
like a Vala or a Li Ming. Or
it's hard for us to predict here because we haven't seen Tempest in competitive matches recently, but it's like we're looking for the Dami here. Like, what is he gonna play? And if we were in a different meta, I'd say Jaina would be like a great choice here, but we're not in that meta right now, so we're not going to be seeing her. But
yeah, let's look at the stuns too. It looks like they have 2 stuns so far for ETC and Sonya. Those are both characters that you want to stun heavily.
Yeah, I mean they could take Li Ming for the Wave of Force.
Yeah,
they're going to do that.
I like that. I think that's a good call.
And there's the Brightwing for TNL. You were saying you were thinking we were going to see Brightwing on Tempest side. I was actually feeling more coming up, especially with the Tassadar on TNL side, because Polymorph will just it's basically like you killed Illidan for multiple seconds. So he's literally useless. He's gonna die.
It's nuts. He's a squirrel. No, you're right.
You feel a little bit crabby sometimes. You get polymorphed.
Brightwing, when Illidan used to dominate heroes, like way back when I started, long time ago now. Brightwing was both the best thing to put with him and the best counter against him. It was kind of funny.
It's actually it's been that way for all time. I feel throughout all the changes we've seen to both heroes, because they've actually been 2 of the biggest reworked ones, I'd say. I like this draft for TNL, to be honest.
You like the TNL draft more?
Yeah, slightly more, though. I don't want to give them a huge swing, but I would say I give them the wolf thumbs up.
Okay, the wolf thumbs up. I'm glad to hear it. It looks like we are ready, guys. Game number 3.
All right, let's take a look here. Hyde is going to be playing Tyrande. Honkono is on Li Ming again. Dami is actually going to be playing Abathur, so a lot of flexibility on this team for sure. Lockdown playing Illidan, and Duck is on Muradin.
Very cool. Can't wait to see Lockdown using that Illidan. And TNL trying to finish this off. Crazy moving on Kael'Thas, SC on Sonya, Noblesse on ETC, Sniper on Tassadar, and Jaehyun on Brightwing. So you like the TNL draft a bit more?
Yeah. I think they have all the answers for Illidan here. The only thing they're missing, of course, is the Illidan.
Okay.
But the early game is going to be really powerful for Tempest because they have the Abathur hat on Illidan, and he can just dive in on any squishy and really tear things up. So
yeah, let's not forget, though, there's not a lot of heal for him here, so that's a little bit scary. And I do agree, the more I look at this, like I generally don't like Tassadar as a draft against Illidan because he just doesn't add anything to the fight, but I do like the comp here of TNL.
I think they were just more so scared of Tassadar on Illidan.
Absolutely. I do completely agree with you. It's just like he's a worthless hero against Illidan. You know, he just doesn't add any real damage to that situation. He doesn't really do anything against him except being a denial pick.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like my heroes more useful than that.
Yeah, I have to agree. He's not also going to be able to, like, save someone that Illidan's on top of. Like, you just delay Illidan from killing them. Whereas, like, a burst healer, in this case, would obviously save them and give more time for the rest of the team to go and start dropping some CC.
You know, they can keep Sonya alive for so long here. It's pretty crazy. And I'm liking it. So let's see what Tempest can really get done. They do have that Abathur, so they're going to have a lot of soak during these shrines.
You know what's really interesting, too? Almost everything is normal in these talents, except that we see Felon Fusion instead of the Mana Globe talent, the Mana Addict. And that's interesting because when you do finish that quest and gain the Arcane Barrier, that's one of the best ways to survive versus Illidan as a dive. So I'm surprised we don't see that. That's almost baffling to me. He's going to have a lot more ability power and can maybe even just grab kills as a result, but
I personally kind of like this. I like those Felon Fusion builds, like just building that out completely. And the fact of the matter is they have 2 healers, so I think they can keep him alive pretty well. But I guess we'll see if that turn. And it's crazy moving. Don't forget, he just never dies no matter what.
Sure.
Right?
And Tassadar's shield is actually like almost as good as Mana Barrier, anyways. But
burstiest heal, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not to get your health back, but it's a big block.
Yeah.
Now, that is the big lacking point for their team comp is they don't have any burst heals at all. And that can be really scary when Li Ming starts to really start chaining things together and getting the resets, which hasn't been a problem for them so far because they simply just win almost every team fight. But if things start going awry, then obviously the lack of burst heal could be pretty scary.
All right, so a little bit of a polymorph build out here on Brightwing, of course, to help counter that Illidan. Like, that's the funny thing about Illidan. When he's in the game, your comp kind of depends upon him. You build around him, and you know, he's going to decide things for you most of the time. So I love that they're doing as much as they can to counter that right now.
I'm curious to see how the build-out finishes up here for Tyrande as well. I think we're probably going to see Shadow Stalk this time, like, almost no doubt, right? Oh, sick shield there. We'll see. Like, this composition is really interesting, and Illidan is so rarely actually seen in competitive play because he's so highly banned, and that's why we did see, like, the throwaway ban, basically, for Tempest in the early part of this.
Well, you know, he's definitely something that can, you know, swing the game completely into Tempest's favor, especially as we get later and he really builds out. You know, Illidan right now definitely scales well into the late game.
Yeah.
But as of right now, we have that great soak going on. Brightwing up at the top, continuing to soak in that lane until they need him down bottom.
Crazy moving, continuing on his Verdant Spheres build here, and going all the way, as you're mentioning. So we see a lot of Europeans do, but not as popular in Asia. SC gets caught here, and he is almost certainly going to go down. There's the Stormbolt Abathur hat as well. Here comes Brightwing, though, and with the face shield, actually will just barely save him.
Yeah, no problem. Look at that. Jaehyun really on top of things, and, you know, was doing a very good job at continuing that soak up top. So they do have a slight experience lead, but we have Abathur up there right now, and that Bruiser can't push into the wall. So the longer this goes on down here, the better it is for Tempest.
That's absolutely true. Duck controlling this so far. Noblesse not even going to try to step in right now. SC coming around from the backside. Honkono in perfect position, though. Everyone's keeping them in the safety.
Looks like a lot of damage coming out. Looks like they're actually totally fine, just continuing to shield Noblesse up. SC taking care of the Shrine, and they're really not able to push in right now.
Abathur is going to push down the top fort while this is all going on.
Is he slapping it?
I wish he was, but Dami taking this fort means that this ends up being a pretty good exchange and actually a pretty big win for Tempest. Oh, they're going to dive in here, actually. Abathur's hat comes in with a polymorph. Look at how big impact this has.
Oh, God. And the chain bombs there were just off the hook. Duck barely going to get out with that double Stormbolt play. Hyde will go down, though.
And he was trying to hide there in the bush.
We should call him like Hide, just to really throw everyone off. Like, yeah, a very smart boss take here. They're at level 10. They just wiped 3 heroes. Good to go, man. TNL really starting to run away with it right now.
This is a really scary position for Tempest. Like, they're split pushing with Abathur, which is pretty cool, and like they have Mercs up there with them. They're gonna have to take fights though with Illidan. That's so difficult to do versus the polymorph. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like how they can engage. The only real engagement setup they have to get picks is the combo with Muradin and Tyrande with the Stormbolt into the Lunar Flare.
Yeah.
They need to like get some stuff like that. So like if they can pick off Brightwing, they can win these fights. But if without doing that, it's just so difficult to engage.
Yeah, picking up Brightwing is a lot easier said than done. So
especially because she can blink heal away, survive most encounters.
She's fast. She's, you know, Brightwing is definitely one of those very, very hard to kill heroes. And, you know, let's not forget we have, like, the peel of ETC as well as the shields and Force Wall of Tassadar. It's a hard thing to do. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how they're planning on winning this, but we don't see Wave of the Forest. We actually see Disintegrate here. So a lot more damage coming out for Tempest than what we sometimes see against these ETC-type teams.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to decide how I feel about it. I would have liked it more last game. This one, I'm, like, very okay with it because with how these polymorphs are going down, the Disintegrate's also going to give a little bit more wave clear. Like, I mean, they just used it right now to push down these towers. Lockdown's, like, really aggressive on that healing fountain. If they can get resets, it's like the team fight and the damage is no longer as pigeonholed and pushed all onto Lockdown. It's like no longer fully his responsibility to kill everybody.
Yeah, and that's important because he's going to be the one that everyone is targeting down. So hopefully he can buy enough time that we actually, you know, see Evergreen deal his damage.
When you think about, oh my god, TNL is actually controlling both shrines right now. And Brightwing can come down at any time. This is so bad for Tempest. They need to actually win this fight right now. Good body blocks here, actually. Dami up on the front lines with that clone.
Doing a pretty good job there. Duck actually jumps into the middle of everything. The polymorph goes down. He gets blown up there. Clone gets taken out as well. Lockdown going to have to start running.
And, oh, it's not a one-for-one trade because that was a clone, you know?
Oh, no.
Oh, Honkono here.
Dead.
You know what? I want to talk about this for a bit, and we haven't had that much time to talk about it just yet. As we see Hyde actually definitely going to get picked off here, I think, with Polymorph, although he juked them so hard there.
Yeah, that was
I guess he's going to come down. Lockdown's coming down as well. Uh-oh.
Well, he's got to be careful about trying to one-on-one SC here, especially with Jaehyun coming up with that Polymorph.
And here comes Crazy moving as well. And it looks like he's just going to back off. Does not want to get gravity lapsed. Ooh, that was a close call there. But what the point I wanted to make was, I feel like the identity and the role of Honkono here and Dami, it's like too flexible.
Yeah.
It feels like they're not as specialized as the other teams that have been around long enough and worked together long enough to know where the roles are. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if they make it deeper into the season if we even see roles swap.
Yeah, I definitely do have to agree with you on that. It's definitely been some overlap so far, and it seems like some specialization could occur. But it looks like right now, a lot of damage being dealt to Sniper. Barely dimensional shifts out, though.
And he's the only one who has any burst heals here, you know? Now that he's dead, Brightwing's healing's not going to be enough to save them. Crazy Moving is going down for sure. And he's going to go down, and that means that actually with another Stormbolt here, they can go ahead and grab Jaehyun.
Jaehyun taking a lot of damage, just barely gets out of there with the rest of his team. But that is 2 kills for 0, and Tempest Well, I mean, they get those kills. I can't call it a lead, though. They're down 2 buildings and a level.
It's the first big step for them, though. I mean,
yeah.
They have 13 now. They will actually catch up in EXP, like, you know, a little bit here, as they have 5 heroes to kind of soak and catch up. But you know, the target being Tastar is so smart because he already used his dimensional shift early, and that's where the fight went bad for him. And so when you see that happen, you know that it's like so much tougher to keep everyone alive because all of this damage so quickly, and Brightwing's heals are just never going to be enough to Ancestral or anybody or keep someone alive.
That's a really good thing you point out there, Wolf, and I think that kind of underlines why I didn't like the Tastar pick, because if they dive on him, there's not like a whole lot he does. What, he Psy Storms and then like shields himself and dimensional shifts. He's basically being useless during the battle, and Illidan can stick to him. Absolutely no problem. You can't dimensional shift away from Illidan, really. So they really kind of abuse the weakness of Tastar against something like Illidan.
Ooh, this is an awkward position for Tempest as well here. I don't really like this. Friend or foe going to allow Lockdown to escape. That was a close call there.
I mean, yeah, he's used that to great effect so far as well. Oh, Polymorph going down once again here on Duck. Duck does jump forward, though. A lot of damage coming out. Oh, the Metamorphosis is popped, and Lockdown is going ham.
Oh, this is actually the kind of fights that we need to see here. Sniper solo impact on the retreat right now. There goes a Lunar Flare onto Crazy Moving as well, and he will go down.
Lockdown.
And this is a big problem. The resets.
Getting very low right now, Lockdown is, but he gets some heals. A great stun does fall onto Noblesse. Lockdown making some things happen here as well.
Really, really liking how they're deciding to engage here. They're using the clone on Illidan and diving specifically to either kill or remove from the fight Sniper.
Yeah.
And that's what they need to do, and that's going to help them win these fights. Now, Hyde, I think, took the wrong way here to try to get out. He's even going to try to attempt to hide himself there in the bush. Again, we saw this once before.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
I really liked what we saw there in those last 2 fights.
Yeah.
And this is maybe the beginning of a comeback for Tempest.
Yeah, this is, you know, you've got to be very careful with how you end up building your composition here, and we definitely see the strength of what Illidan can do, why he gets banned a lot as well. That was a nice force wall there, though, and they do take him out, but we have fake Illidan here.
Yeah, without Hyde in the fight there, that was kind of a bit overzealous. There's no one to shield him. He's very much overconfident there, I'd say. Dami's clone will get killed here, and I mean, that was just, that move there really cost them the Shrine. I feel like they could have potentially contested it with hitting 16 once Hyde joined up in the fight, but that force ball was also very good. Like, without that, I mean, that situation wouldn't have occurred, but a very risky move nonetheless.
Right now they are chasing down SC a little bit, dealing some damage to him. And, well, I guess it's just time for people to do some camps, clear some lanes here as well. A little bit of scouting going on with that Sentinel.
Big power spike, by the way, for TNL with Critterize at 16. With that, you're going to be able to not only stop Illidan from life-stealing, but also will be able to burst him down a ton faster with everyone focusing him down. And TNL is getting closer and closer, of course, to 20. And the race to 20 is really important because Kael'thas gets his big power spike there with his essentially unlimited chain bomb potential.
Well, they are getting towards that, but if Tempest can take one more fight, then they'll probably get to 20 first. We'll see here. The fight does start. We do have the Shadow Stalk coming down for that additional heal. The stuns do fall on Noblesse, but he gets out of there ASAP.
Metamorphosis going down as well. Noblesse with a great mosh pit, though, and that's going to turn the fight back around. And 2 kills here easily.
Yeah, it looks like they will get that clone as well. That was a fantastic mosh pit. That is what changed everything right there. And immediately hitting that boss. No slowing down at all here for TNL.
That's the kind of way, that's the way to play ETC versus an Illidan comp. You never want to try to force the engage with them. What you can do instead is just like, when they dive in on top of you, you don't have to force the good mosh. The mosh is going to come to you. When they're on top of you, when they're diving in, you get those 2-man moshes.
And don't forget, he saw the Lunar Flare go down. You see the Stormbolt go down, and bam, that's it. That's all their stuns. That's everything. So you can hit that mosh with impunity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this could be a game-ending push for TNL. They're going to hit 20 very soon. Probably not off of this, you know, they're not going to get off of this keep or this wave, but if they continue to support this boss, I mean, it's going to put them in such a good position that either if they kill the core, they win the game, obviously, but if they just rotate back while Tempest is still cleaning, they can go for the Shrine and finish the game that way.
All right, here we go. We do actually have the clone of Dami jumping in here. We have a couple Illidan's in there. Lockdown, though, does get blown up. Oh, that's a big deal. Everyone, in fact, starting to get blown up over here for Tempest, and this should be game, I would say.
Yeah, Lockdown is dead. I mean, realistically, it's crazy that we even have crazy moving die. It's like an uncharacteristic thing for him. Like he's like usually, no, 0 deaths every time.
Yeah.
But his flame strikes did so much there. The chain bomb as well. You saw how clumped up Tempest was, way too clumped. And Kill is just so good versus this comp that's diving and getting in your face and all bunching up. And I mean, this is game over, as you said. TNL will close it out and take the win 3-0. Even going to take Li Ming with them. There you have it.
All right. Well, you know what?